One. All right, everybody. We are live here with Percy Scott. Um, the last Friday, we actually went live on Facebook, and we were talking about um, just a lot of things that we saw in the marketing world. Um, and I had the topic of discussion of um, the frustration I had with people on websites. And then we just started rambling about helping people in the community. We shed some light on you. And then we kind of ended that segment. But it was kind of like a precursor to this, so people can see us in our element and having a good time and just doing things the way we know how to do. So without further ado, I do want to go ahead and introduce my partner, Percy Scott. The name speaks for itself. I wish we had the little applause that going on in the background. Yes, but the name speaks for itself. And we just thank you for the opportunity to work with you and also get this thing started. So if you're ever in town and you're ready to get on a podcast and talk, just go ahead. So this is Global 360 Marketing, and I'm gonna shut up and let Percy go ahead and do some talking.
First of all, Terrell, thank you you and Mike for getting this started. I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I love how you all are bringing energy to our company. I'm excited to be here and answer whatever questions you guys have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have to say it's definitely been an honor to not just be getting the information, but the mentorship. Uh, you're always there when it comes to that, for sure. Information is unlimited. Conversations can go wherever, and I appreciate you just leaving those doors open for us.
I appreciate it. To me, that's the most important thing. Like I told you guys before, like it drives me crazy when older guys know a lot and then they take it to the grave with them without sharing it with somebody who's younger than them. And so I come from the hood, and I wouldn't have been able to get out without having older men tell me, what was important and what wasn't important. Some of the things I thought when I was younger that was important, I realized really wasn't. And the most important thing, as you all know, is our faith in our families. And so everything else comes secondary after that. And so being men in our community, in my opinion, is first and foremost. And so you guys have been, stand up since I met you. And so for me to be able to share how we can make money to help your families is easy for me to do. And so you guys are just taking it. I appreciate you all, first of all, just being humble enough to listen and then running with it.
Hey. It's like you got no other choice. Not saying it's like we get the scraps, but for sure, that's like who's giving the information. That's the main thing that we love, because you get the older guys or people in your generation or the baby boomers, we like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we want to get somewhere, we just don't know how.
Right.
And like I said, for the time we've been with you, the door has been wide open. It's like, what do you want to know? It's like, that'd be the funniest question. We be like, we could ask him anything. He like, duh, come on.
Yeah. Closed mouths don't get fed.
They don't. No, not around here. But ask.
Yeah, that's what we do. So our job, is to, share light on, the community. Our job is to share light on small businesses.
Yes, sir.
And you all are an integral part of helping us to make that happen. So again, I just appreciate, you guys coming in 100%. Like a lot of times, younger adults, they come in and they, tread the water, try to see what's in it for them. And you guys came in like, what can we do? Let us go. You don't have to do that. Let us do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't ask for anything better. And if more people did that, we'll all be more successful a lot faster.
For real.
As you tell people all the time, if you want to do something fast, do it by yourself. But you want to go far, you got to go with a team. And you guys have been a great team thus far, and I'm looking forward to where we're going.
Hey, right in the fields, man.
Trust me, we feel it. We ready. We ready ourselves.
So we're gonna go up right into the question parts. So there was a few questions that I had that I want to answer personally, because I don't think I ever asked you these questions, to be honest, and it kind of threw me through a loop, and I was like, man, I've been with like almost a year, and I still didn't even know like what was the vision behind Global 360 Marketing, and what is the future? What do you see the future of Global 360 Marketing?
So the vision, wow, that's funny. The vision behind Global 360 Marketing is I wanted to create a agency that was small enough that I can help small mom and pop businesses, but we had the skill set to help large corporations. And so how could I do that? I knew I couldn't do that on my own, and I knew I couldn't afford to hire the top, PR people or website people because they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I just didn't have that when I started.
Correct.
So what I did was I went and found those entrepreneurs who were doing exceptionally well in website design and video production and PR, and I convinced them that if they worked with me, that we can serve more clients together. And so I found the best of the best in each category who had their own business, and I convinced them to come and work with Global 360 because I was a hell of a salesman.
Right.
I've been selling for 20 years, and so I convinced them, if you just want to do websites, let me go sell the websites. Yes. You can do all the websites you want to do. If you just want to do PR, let me go find the people that need PR, and then you do it, and we'll just bring it all under one conglomerate. And so that was the most efficient way I felt that I can help small businesses, because we could be nimble, and I didn't have to hire all those people full time. I can hire them on a case-by-case basis based on those projects. But also when we needed to work for the state, or when we needed to work for a major corporation, when we needed to work for a major university, I had professional people that can go in and do those jobs as well.
Right.
And so it didn't matter to me if a client had $500 for a video, we can go do that. But if a client had $500,000 for a video, we can go do that as well and still do it in excellence. And then for small mom and pop companies, you're getting the skill set from someone that's doing State Farm or Nike commercials, and they're doing your commercial for you for $500, so $1,000, or whatever it is that we were charging at the time. I started off really, really humble, just trying to get our name out there. So we're literally doing $500 commercials. I was just doing consulting for free. Just because I wanted to get in the door. I would give people discounts on media placement and buying. I worked for Clear Channel and GCI V103 for a number of years, and so I know what the prices are.
Correct.
I have good friends over at the TV stations, and I also worked at B96. So can't nobody cheat me when it comes to I know the prices. You can't cheat me. So I was able to get the best pricing for my clients, and because of that, they were successful. A lot of times, most people come to me with their last $5,000 or $10,000. If we don't do well for them,
last $5,000 to $10,000,
they done it, right? So as a business, you put your trust into a company, you want some results, and it's my job to take that 5 or 10 and make it into 50.
Right.
And so I look at people's money like it's my own. And so when we are doing our advertising campaign or marketing campaign for somebody, I want to make sure that it's going to work.
Correct.
Because if it ain't going to work, I don't want to put my name behind it. And so in this business, as you all know, like anything, all you got is your word. Your word. You have to do what you say you're going to do.
That's great.
And so the vision for me, getting back to your question, was just to make sure that we are able to help those small and medium-sized companies get a leg up, have a fair playing ground, but then also be able to compete.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they just weren't, because people just take advantage of them. Because if a McDonald's is paying $1 million for commercials and mom and pop is paying $5,000, nobody care about a little $5,000. I care if the account executive cares about the $1 million campaign. But as it come to me as an agency, I'm going to fight for you to make sure that you're giving the same respect as McDonald's and everybody else. Even though you got $5,000, I'm going to make sure that you're in prime time, that you first in pod, things that most people don't even know about. We do just to make sure that our clients are successful.
The information is a limit. It's
Unlimited.
not even no limit. Like I said, what did you just hear? That is
He
crazy.
said it out of his own mouth. So those business owners, I'm pretty sure they appreciated you when they found you, obviously.
Yes.
And I wish I had you when I started my SEO company, because I didn't know about radio, TV, ads, and stuff like that. I thought that was like something you gotta have $1 million for,
And you don't.
you don't.
You know.
Now we know.
Now we know.
And it just comes to just asking.
Yeah.
And man.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, so my vision now is for us to kind of automate what we're doing. A lot of times I've been, I meet with a lot of people, and it's only so many people I can help serve by myself.
That's correct.
And so the vision was to, bring it to where our services can be scaled. And if we can help scale our services and put systems in place, then we can help our businesses scale their systems and their marketing.
Okay.
And so that's the next step of Global 360 Marketing, is want to be able to help as many people as possible across the nation.
Correct.
Not just in the Chicagoland area or the regional. Like, we've done stuff downstate, and done stuff in New York and in Dallas and in Houston, but we want to do that on a more consistent basis, because I feel like there's a lot more people that we can help. And I know that with the systems that we have in place now, we can actually do that. We have graphic designers, web designers, we have video teams all over the country ready to move whenever we say go. And so we don't have to.
This is very true.
Very true. Very true.
We don't have to, hop somebody on a plane and travel them to another city when we have videographers and things of that nature right there in those cities ready to go and work on our behalf.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit of working with our agency, is that we have a worldwide reach, close to home.
Well, now that you guys know about this information, just go ahead and give Global 360 Marketing a call. And we'll be able to help your business. We have the systems in place, as Percy just said.
Hard to find.
I am not hard to find. Matter of fact, I was in Colorado the other 3 weeks ago for the USC game. We had so much fun.
Man,
it was amazing, and just being able to see what Deion is building like that. I mean, he's a brand on his own. The team is 4-3 right now, but they're still the hottest thing in college football.
Always.
It's all because of his brand. And so we want to make sure that when a company, doesn't know who they are, we got to help them figure out what their brand are, because branding is so important.
Yeah.
A lot of times I tell people, if you are a Ford, be a Ford. A lot of times people are Fords and they try to act like they're Lamborghinis. And so you can't, it's like confusing to your customer. And so don't act like a Lamborghini if you're really a Ford. Ford sells billions of dollars in cars every year. It's okay being a Ford. Imagine being an owner of Ford right now. It'll be okay. But their brand is that Ford is a inexpensive car that's going to get you from point A to point B, and they're going to have the up-to-date gadgets in there. But it may not last you for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And you're not going from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds in a Ford. You're just not.
Yeah.
But that's their brand. It's reliable, get you to point A, point B car. Lamborghini, 0 to 2 and 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. You're not
driving that every day, though.
You're not driving it every day. It's high end. You're only showing it off in certain places, but that's their brand. People pay for that. People pay for the quality. Mm-hmm. And so, depending on what your company is, if you're quality, you can't have. I have a company that I know about that, has an upscale food, but they put it in white, non-labeled packaging. Makes no sense to me. Right. So if you're a high-end brand, people want to know. Like Starbucks is Starbucks because of the logo on that cup. When people go to work, they sit that logo on the cup. Everybody know they went to Starbucks, right? Yeah. And so people will pay $3, $4, $5, $6 for a coffee just because they got that Starbucks logo.
I was thinking about $9 for a coffee. You got $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 now.
That's branding. That's branding, and that's understanding marketing. And so a lot of small businesses have to really understand what their brand is, and that's what we help them do.
Yeah.
And so the vision is to help as many people in that aspect as possible. And then the last piece is a lot of businesses, they just don't have time. They know what to do, they just don't have time to do it. And so what we try to do is we become their marketing arm for their corporation. You continue doing what you're doing great. Let us do your marketing for you on your behalf. And then that way you still are excellent. You're an excellent chef. You're an excellent attorney. You're an excellent accountant. Let us do your marketing for you because you don't know how to use social media to the best of your ability.
Exactly.
You don't know how to change your websites, all of those things. Let us do all of that, and then we go from there.
Because we have the team that actually helps us out to do all of this.
No, for real.
It is not just us just sitting in a room collaborating.
No, we got a full team.
We got a full team for this type of stuff.
No, for real.
And they're professionals in their own right. They have their own lives and stuff like that. But
that's one
that's
thing.
Another conversation.
Also, no, that's a conversation. But everybody here is at their expertise. We're not forcing people to do something that they don't want to do. And that's one thing I appreciate Percy putting us all in our right place, because it's like everybody can be Michael Jackson, just where it's like where it's gonna work for you.
Right, what Tito at?
Yeah, what Tito
at? Janet
at? You need your team.
Absolutely.
And so we're not gonna keep diving right into the questions for you. We kind of want to keep you here a little bit.
Okay.
We talk about some of the landscape around in this area. Me and Mike had a conversation earlier about our school systems and, just what can we do to actually help them. We made some strides in the Southland area, I guess, with the Rich Township stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, other school districts, obviously, that we have underneath our belt. But what do you see that is needed in the school systems today?
I think the biggest thing that's needed in the school system today, in my opinion, my humble opinion, but it's men. It's real men. When I say real men, I mean men who are responsible, who are dedicated, who love their families, who care about their kids' education, who care about their kids' mental health, who care about, their community's kids' mental health and well-being. And I think that there has to be more input from the men in the community. Yeah. I think there's, when we went to school, everybody, they say, a woman's, go-to job is being a teacher, because she's a nurturer and, she cares about those things. But kids just act differently when a man is around. They do. When a man is around that commands that authority. When my father said something, I listened a little different than when my mother said it. Yeah, and so there's a lot of, in my opinion, just the fact there's a lot of single mothers out there who don't have that male in the house.
Right.
And I think we have to get back to being more community driven, where men who are speaking to kids who are not their kids, because they need to hear it. I needed to hear it. My father left when I was 5. And if it wasn't for the men in the community, I wouldn't be who I was. It was the older guys who was telling me, you good at sports, stay with sports. You don't need to worry about getting it. It was my older cousin who told me, don't worry about it. You don't have to get a job. You just keep working out. You get a scholarship. I'll give you money. It was the men in my life throughout the community that helped me to get to where I was. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And so, in my opinion, I think it needs to be more of that today. A lot of men and a lot of people are afraid to talk to other people's kids, for whatever they feel like there's going to be a backlash and things of that nature. And I say to that, women and men, like, we got to get over that. Like, you all see what's happening. These kids, some of them just don't have conscience, in my opinion. Like, to be able to kill somebody because they didn't give you their phone number, to be able to, shoot somebody because they stepped on my shoe, because I don't like you, like it because of what you said on social media.
Man, social media is crazy in our schools today.
And so I think the schools have to incorporate, that sense of love. And I think the biggest thing out of all of it is we took God out of the church, we took God out of the schools, we're taking God out of everything. And without being religious, but without running from it, my faith is everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And as a Christian, it would be very hard for me to take somebody's life just because they said something I didn't like. I couldn't do it because I got my spirit wouldn't allow me to, you know. So I think if we brought some of these kids back to church, get them back to the core of what really makes us as human beings. Like we're all here for a purpose. Like, what is our purpose? And so I think what the schools should do is help us to get back to our center of family. And so bringing men in to talk like we're doing at HF. My son is a sophomore there. We have a dad squad. And so we have over 80 dads coming to the high school just to encourage the kids to say you can make it, you can do it, or straighten up. Hey, straighten your hat up, pull your pants up. When's the last time you seen men tell young men that?
It's like we scared to even say that.
If you say that,
I'm gonna say that to everybody. If you 30 plus and you still sagging your pants, shame on you.
Hey.
You're a grown man. Don't know. It's all men. It's all men. I don't want to see no man's butt. Real talk. Like, you can do what you want to do, but like, come on, man. You gotta.
It's respect.
If you want people to follow you, you gotta be an example. And if you 30 plus sagging your pants still, like, what are we doing?
Nah.
What are we doing?
Nah, that'd be a raise, right?
I don't want to see your butts. I don't. Room full of guys, everybody sagging. What kind of party is this?
It don't look good.
It's not a good look. It is not cool anymore.
28, 29.
It's 2023. Let that fad go away. Get a belt, please. Get a belt.
So is there something that we can do outside of being in the school with I guess dad squad? Is that just something that the school is doing, or is that something that the dads are really doing?
Well, it's something. Well, when my son got to HF, there was one male on the Homewood Flossmoor Parent Association on the HFPA.
Wow.
One male. And so
all the kids that go there.
Thousands of kids. There was one dad that was on the Parent Association. And so when I found out, I joined immediately because, I know that we have to have more faces. We had about 45 to 50 men, dads come for the first dad squad event we did back in March. And from that, since I joined, a couple other people joined, this time we have over 80 people that are showing up for the dad squad, including the Flossmoor police chief, because I think that's just as important as well. I think the police need to know who our kids are, and they also need to know who the dads are.
Exactly.
And so having a police chief there to talk and be there with these other dads, I think is huge for the school as well as for the community.
Yeah. No, I love everything that's going on just in the south suburbs alone. I just feel like if we all can come together at different schools and different districts to make these systems work, it's working in one school, it should work in the rest of them, don't you think? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times schools want to be unique and they really don't have to be.
Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And if it's working somewhere else, absolutely try to make sure that it's working at your school, because success breeds success. People think copying is bad. I copy. If you do something better than me, I'm gonna copy it.
Yeah.
I don't care, that you did it first. It don't matter. If it's helping you to win, I want to win too.
Exactly.
And I want to win fast. So if I'm able to, eliminate some of my potholes because I watch you, God bless me.
For real.
So I don't, it's a lot of times people, we can't do it because they did it. Who cares if they did it?
No.
If it's going to help our students, if it's going to help our community, let's do it. People need to put their egos away and give credit what credit is due. They started off, thank you. Now we're doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And message. No, it's definitely needed in these communities. I feel like personally, the kids that just don't have those mentors, and they're here, they're around. It's just they're not in their face. They don't see it. They don't know what it looks like. So it's definitely a blessing that you and the man, and I commend everybody that's in that association or program at HF I applaud you guys because I was one of those kids too at HF, just didn't know. You get through the high school, your peers are cool, but then it gets to a point where you go in the room by yourself. You're trying to figure this stuff out. It's cool to have your friends. It's cool to have, you know, the girls that had the guys, the girlfriend. But when it comes down to it, people, it's structure. Where is your life going to? Which we're going to start getting in more depth into with Mr. Scott here very shortly here.
And the biggest thing for schools to piggyback off of that is you got to have programming. Like with Rich Township High School, they have just a ton of programming. They have one of the best bands in the country. They just won first place at the Chicago City Classic.
Shout out to Chris, he was a cameraman for us.
They just won first place at the Circle City Classic in Indianapolis. They went to the Bayou Class, not the Bayou Class, but Mardi Gras Parade in New Orleans earlier this year. So they're just doing some amazing things, and they also have a new IB program. They were just awarded as an accredited World IB School, accredited school. So they're doing, schools in the south suburbs are doing some amazing things.
Yes,
Again, we just have to make sure that we're getting the word out, and letting people know the amazing things that are happening. So all the students aren't bad, but it's sad that when you talk to the media, that's all that they promote. But these kids that went over to Cambridge over the summer, you don't hear that much about them. So it's our job to make sure that these stories are being told. It's our job as a marketing agency to make sure that the kids who are doing well are being highlighted and spotlighted.
Exactly.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of stories that's getting missed and just doesn't have the proper publications or the right marketing to hit those points to make it make sense for you. Because of course you want to see the efforts, you want to see the levels that gets to the next level instead of staying stagnant. I appreciate you making those places and making those people prevalent in the community.
Absolutely.
But did have a question myself. What got you into marketing?
When I was that's funny. I was a senior in college, and I was an industrial technology major, geology minor, and I played football, so I was looking to go to the NFL. I went to Illinois State University, and we sucked that year, my senior year. We got a new coach. We were 3-9. I made all conference and all that stuff, but I knew coming from Illinois State and not running a 4.3 that I wasn't going to the NFL even though I wanted to. And so my fraternity, we would throw parties and comedy shows and stuff like that. And so they would throw me in the front. I would be like the host. I would be the one talking to everybody, welcome them in, and I began to love it. I was already popular because I played football, and then because of me being in a fraternity, I'm an iota. We threw some of the best parties, and I love that limelight. I love that energy.
I had some of that jungle energy. Shout out to the iotas. Y'all know how to party.
Yes, we do. So I love the energy of talking to people and relating to people and seeing people smile, seeing people have fun. And so when I didn't make it to the NFL, I started playing in the Arena League. And in the Arena League in Peoria, Illinois, Peoria Pirates, we actually went 17-0, won the Arena League championship. I led the league in breakups.
Oh,
but doing that, I used that to do events. So we started doing murder mystery dinner theaters. We started doing comedy shows on top of parties. And me and two of my frat brothers, we just started a company called RSVP Enterprises.
Wow.
And we did amazing. Was making a lot of money. And then 9/11 hit. And everyone was afraid to go outside. It's kind of like now with Gaza and Israel, like people are afraid, people are attacking people just randomly.
Yeah.
And so people were afraid to go outside. And so I had this, grandiose scheme that I was going to do a big fun festival, family fun festival. I had saved about $50,000 at the time, and I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about sponsorship, and so I invested all of my own money for this big outdoor fun festival to let everybody have fun, and it rained the entire day.
Oh my God!
It rained like cats and
Mind
dogs.
you, he never told us this story.
Never told us the story.
It rained,
What?
and I was expecting to make like $200,000. I made $2,000. I lost my entire $50,000. That nice Navigator that I had was repossessed. That nice apartment that I had with floor model TVs, evicted. I went and stayed with my boy for a couple months who also played in the league and came back to our state. And then eventually I moved back with my mother, my blind mother in Harvey. Flat broke, humbled, but yet determined. So you can imagine, I started working for this company called Jeff Scott and Associates in Crestwood, where we would literally have to go door to door, marketing toys and products from like Disney, Warner Brothers. And people would be like, what's going on with you? I used to see you on TV. Like, why? What you doing? I'm like, man, take this product.
You like me.
You like me. Buy this product.
Questions.
And with this company, you couldn't get hired as a manager or a VP or anything. You had to start at the ground level and work your way up. So coming from Robbins and coming from nothing, even though I lost everything, I've been used to not having anything. But one thing my mother always instilled in me was a work ethic. Yes. And I always say, you can put me anywhere on God's green earth, I'm always going to triple my work. So just give me an opportunity. And so that's what it was. That's what I saw was as an opportunity to start over. And so I went grind mode, as Shadora said. I went Brady mode.
Hey, Brady mode. Hey,
what are you doing now?
Hey.
So I was hustling. I was selling books. I became a best-selling book seller, toy seller, and then I became a assistant manager. I began training people, teaching them how to do it. I became a general manager, taking people on road trips, showing them how to do it, going to other states, showing other people how to do it in other states. And then eventually I was able to open up my own office through this company. So I got married, opened up my own office in Davenport, Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Traveling.
I had a choice between Iowa and Evansville, Indiana. And
I see why.
I didn't want to go that way. You know why?
Hey, nothing to Indiana.
Shout out to
Indiana. Come through this way. We want to blow up that way too.
But being in Davenport, it was pretty cool. But it was like I went back 3 years.
Okay.
It was just boring as all get out. Only thing we did was go to church, ate at restaurants, and went to the movies. The movie people knew me and my wife's name by heart. The restaurants, we had all kind of coupons, and so we would come home to Chicago like at least once a month just to see the city. So I met one of my good friends I used to play football with. His name was Kennard Carter. His real name was Kennard Killingsworth. He was a music director at WGCI.
Wow.
And he was like, you should be an account executive. He's like, you're really good at what you do. I had no idea what that was. Only thing I knew about the radio was like the personalities that you actually hear on the radio. He was like, no, you should actually sell commercials on the radio. I was like, how much they get paid? He was like, he brought some people down. I won't say names, but one of them was making $200,000. Another female who's still there now, she's amazing. She was making like $400,000. I shut my office down. I interviewed at GCI. I met the manager. His name was Craig Morton. Shout out to Craig for giving me a chance. He's an Omega. Craig was like, you have any references? I pulled out my references because I'm prepared, right?
Hey,
he was like, you know what? Ready. Nobody's ever given me a reference on request. He was like, when can you start? Like, whenever you're ready. 2 weeks later, I was back in Chicago working for GCI. Shut my office down. My wife had to stay down because she was working at a college down there. And so we split homes for about 6 months.
Okay.
And that's when I moved back to Chicago, and that's when it all began.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That sounds like a whole book and a movie.
So basically, natural born leader, natural born in sales. Obviously, you got the gift for what do they call it? Gift for gab.
Gift for gab. Natural hustler.
Natural hustler, and just
and ball hawk, right?
Yeah, ball hawk.
So I mean, coming from Robbins, like everything we do had to go hard. It was always competitive, whether it was basketball, walking to class, running to class, football, whatever it was. We had to go hard.
Yeah.
I always tell my friends, like, I was the guy when we would go to the store and get cookies. By the time we got home, my cookies would be gone, and my friends would sit there and save and eat their cookies slowly. I always wish I had that trait because I treated money just like those cookies. And so I used to, as soon as I got money, because I was broke, I used to spend and prove that, A, I had it to other people, and then also because I didn't feel like it was going to last.
Correct.
And then, like I was saying, it wasn't until I got around older guys that was like, "No, dude, you don't have to do it that way. Like, this is called a budget. Put a little bit here, a little bit over there for the future. You got kids, right? Okay, they gonna need something when you're done. You can't just spend.
Kids always need something.
Yeah, so throughout my entire life, I've always had men in my life to actually counsel me, to show the way, and I've always been open. Because I don't care if they're old or young. If you can help me in a way, if you're gonna benefit me, I'm listening.
Yes,
and I've always been, and that's why I feel like I've been successful, because I've always been one to listen and learn. Like, even from you guys, like the stuff that you're doing, I listen. You know it better than me. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
That's crazy. That was the one thing that woke me up. I was like, he really wants to learn stuff. It's like he's like open ear. So many people, and it's like even our age, I don't want to hear it all. I don't want to listen at all. So when you see somebody up stature, it's like, you want to listen to me?
Right. That's what throws
you want to
off.
listen to me?
Like, I've heard that open.
I've heard so many people that I know I could help say, if you don't make more money than me, you can't help me.
That's the craziest
thing.
And
so those are people I had to walk away from.
Run away from you.
Because life ain't about money.
It's not.
It's not about money. It's about opportunity. And what I've always realized, that relationships mean a whole lot more than money. Because if you have the right relationship, you can always make money, because somebody can always introduce you to your next dollar.
Exactly.
But that you didn't deserve or even have a thought of. Like, you all have introduced me to people I would have never met. And vice versa. I introduce you to people that you never met. But that's how it works. Like, it's all about relationships. Like, just being able to, see and have a conversation, being open to have these conversations, I think are important. And a lot of times as men, we want to, throw out our stature as opposed to just getting to know people. Like, who are you? How can I help you? Like, how can I serve what you're doing? How can I make your life better? And we don't do that as an African American community a lot. And I think that's what hurts us.
We definitely don't.
Well, I mean, just on a personal level, the men that you've actually introduced us to, they're all about the same energy.
Yes,
they always have that same characteristic. They're always looking to serve. They're always looking to make somebody better.
Yeah,
and that's all we appreciate. Yeah, that's all we were asking for anyway. And especially being in our position, like where we're coming into that, of age and manhood, and we want to change. Like, there's a difference between being in your 20s and then being in going into your 30s.
Big difference.
There's a big difference. So,
in your 20s, everybody like, oh, you can make it. You can make it. At 30, like, what you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are you?
What?
Like,
you asking me what's the
10-year
move? What's the move at 10 o'clock?
Reunions come, and it's like, hold on.
Right. We definitely appreciate that. Just coming from, like I said, personally, I appreciate it. I know Mike feels the same way.
I definitely do.
But yeah, that's one thing that we can respect about P, is that he's gonna get you what you need, and he's gonna be an upstanding man about it.
Yes, he'll tell you what he can do and what he can't do. It's not no dream or fairy tale story around here. You tell us what you got going on, you're gonna get 100% what we can do.
Yes, and the most important thing, I think, especially with our company, is telling people that we can't help them, because some people don't need marketing, they need business strategy. them people need to learn how to run their business before they even open their business.
Yes.
We were talking about that. Like a lot of times people don't have their paperwork and things in order, but they want to advertise, but they don't really have a way to handle the customers that they're going to get.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you literally running your business on your cell phone. So if you get 30 calls in an hour, how you going to manage that?
You can't get through. I can't click on
Right.
Hold on.
So they're telling us, hey, we want to get all of these people. We want to, but so then when you ask the tough question, okay, if I get you 10 people to call right now, how would you handle it? You don't need a marketing. You need to get your business structure in order.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. So that's what we help with as well. On top of marketing for small businesses, just focusing on helping people get their business structure.
And I also wanted to hit on something like that too. So it's I would just say for instance, this is my recommendation. Before I actually met P, there was a gentleman by the name of Michael Nunn that brought me to the Chamber 57. Right here in the Southland, Rich Township Chamber, if you don't know. But it's called Chamber 57. He brought me there and he was like, you gotta meet Percy. I was like, okay, well, why do I need to meet Percy? So, safe to say, I found out why I needed to meet Percy, and it's been a flourish ever since. But
I ain't hard to find.
What is your take on joining chambers, and especially Chamber 57?
So I love Chamber 57. First of all, I joined Chamber 57 in 2009.
Okay.
And I love the fact of being able to collaborate with like-minded business owners.
Correct.
I like being able to share what I know with like-minded business owners who needs my help. But then I also like learning because there's so much information when you join the chamber. A lot of times businesses, you try to do it on your own. Like when I first started, I was literally trying to hire everybody.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to. And so as much money as I was making, it was going right back out to my staff because I got a videographer on staff I'm paying him, $3,000, $4,000 a month, and we're not shooting any videos.
Right.
He's just on staff.
Correct.
And so I couldn't understand how the bigger agencies were doing it. And so I went and talked to some people through the chamber. I was like, hey, what are you doing? How are you staying afloat?
Right.
Because I'm having a tough time. It was like, we don't hire people, like we outsource. We 1099.
Yeah.
And I mean it blew my mind. I'm like, what?
I can say
like this multi-million-dollar company don't have employees, they got contractors. So I said, oh wow.
He said the light bulb went off.
So you mean I can actually just pay people for the work that they're doing and I don't have to hire them full time?
And something we learned from him.
And
we thinking I gotta pay everybody out my pocket. It's like he's like, no. I'll take you to this building.
No, we're not doing that. And so I learned that through the chamber. And so I've loved the chamber so much I actually became executive director. And then eventually now the president of Chamber 57. And so my goal with our chamber is to make sure that, again, we're helping small businesses and giving them the resources that they need to be successful. Because a lot of times, if I can't help them with their marketing, I send them to Chamber 57 so that they can get those resources to get their business in order, and then they come back to us to get their marketing done once the business is intact and ready to go. So I think that being part of a chamber is crucial. Like you want to be part of a community no matter what you're doing, whether it's your neighborhood community, your neighborhood school. You want to be a part of an organization that you can get the ideas in your head out to actually fruition to other people, and vice versa. That you can get the pulse of your community. If you have a business and you're not part of a chamber, you're just sitting there in a silo. What are you doing? Like, are you really striving to be the best?
Yeah.
And so same thing, like if you send your kids to school, but you don't follow up with the school, you just feel like you moved to the south suburbs and you made it, your kids are going to struggle.
Right.
Don't blame it on the school.
Exactly.
Blame the school district.
Don't blame the school.
Don't
Blame
blame
it.
the school
It's you.
district.
You get in, you get out what you put in. And so if you
Exactly.
put in the effort to show up, things show up. You know, they say energy is everything. Everything is energy.
It is.
Yeah.
Energy is always moving. If you're sitting still and energy is moving all around you, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You got to move with that energy. And when you start moving with that energy, people just come to you.
Yeah.
That you didn't even know. Like, I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who you were. But because I put that energy out, I'm open to meeting people and come bring everybody to me. I want to meet everybody. And that's what people do. They literally bring people to me. You got to meet Percy. You got to. I want to meet you.
Yeah.
Because there's always something I feel like that I can learn from somebody that I don't know.
Correct.
Whether good or bad, I can learn what not to do from watching you. I can learn what to do faster.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I'm a people person. I like being around people. And so the more people I meet, the more my network builds. And my network is my net worth.
Okay.
Exactly.
So safe to say, people, that if you are in business, find a chamber to help you guys out. If you don't know one, Chamber 57 is one that you can come to.
We would
It
love
will
to have
Definitely help you.
We'll put a link in the live, and we'll put a link somewhere where you can see it as well.
Yes, it'll be in the description, so that way you guys can click and actually join Chamber 57 or look up any chambers for that. So we'll have that in the description for you guys. Just to kind of piggyback off of that, I noticed that we've really implemented a lot of systems with Global 360 Marketing, but I believe the best system that we've actually came up with is the Business in a Box. Can you please describe Business in a Box, and what is that for small businesses?
Business in a box is everything you need in one box. And so a lot of times small businesses, when they first start, they need a few things just to get started. So most businesses, all businesses need a website.
Yes.
Got to have a website. So that's the first thing that we help people with. Second thing is they got to have their social media set up, because you got to have ways for people to reach you.
Yes.
Third, everybody need a logo. You got to have your logo, right? You got to have your brand.
Be official.
And then you got to have a video which tells your story. A lot of times people want to do an advertising video first, but I like to do a story, brand storytelling video first, to let people know who you are and why they should support you.
Exactly.
Then you can talk about your products and your services. But first of all, let people know who you are.
Right.
Let people know why they should support you. Sometimes I support people not because of the product, just because of the person.
Right.
Story.
If I know you're a good person, I know your story. I know you came through hardships and now you're doing this. I'm happy to give you $30 for that T-shirt that you got.
Right.
Simply because I know your story. But if I don't know your story, your business story or your personal story, it's harder for me to spend money with you because you're a brand new company. I'd rather go with somebody I know and trust.
Correct.
But in order for us to begin to trust you, we got to first understand who you are. And being able to tell that story, that brand story, is important. And so Business in a Box includes all of those things. We create your brand story. We do a video for you. We do a website. We do your logo. And then what's the other thing? We set up your social media.
Correct.
So you get all of those things. Now, when we do videos, our typical video for a client is anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000. Our typical website is anywhere from $2,500 to $4,500. Our typical logo.
We're gonna try to do it yourself.
Our typical logo is between $400 to $800, depending on what type of logo it is and how and who it's for. If it's for a multi-million-dollar company, then it's going to take more because it's more detailed.
Correct.
We want to make sure that we're speaking the right message. For a small mom and pop, some people just need a logo. We're going to give you a logo.
Exactly.
And then for your brand story, we actually got to do some research on you. We got to interview you. We ask you a bunch of questions, and then we create what type of brand you want for your company, what type of customer you're looking for.
Right. So
we understand who we're talking to. A lot of times when I ask people for, who is your target customer, and they say everybody. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. All right. customer is not everybody because you
Break it
cannot
down.
afford everybody.
Everybody.
Cannot
You can't afford to talk to
everybody.
everybody. You can only afford to talk to one person. So that's the one person we're going to start with. So
Yeah.
getting people in that education in the beginning, I think, is very important. In our business in a box, you get all of those things for $49.99.
Wow.
Now, I can't
You heard
make
about
it any simpler than that.
Yes.
And it's not all up front. We ask 50% down because we want to get you started. We want to get the stuff set up, and then 50% when we're finished.
Correct.
Not before we finish. After we're finished with everything set up, then you pay us the rest. And hopefully that'll give you enough time. And I tell people all the time, if you really want to start your business, you should have a minimum of $20,000 to start. Because if you don't, you shouldn't be starting your business because your first couple months are going to be rough. For some people, that first year is going to be rough.
Right.
So
attest to that one.
do what I did. I worked at other companies and I got paid from them and I learned every system they had. I learned how to talk. I got trained by them on how to sell, how to market, what KPI means, which is your key performance indicators.
Man.
I learned all of this jargon from working at a major corporation. I got insurance for my family. And then when I had enough saved, then I went out and I started my own company. A lot of people get an idea. I want to do it right now, but you can't do it, bro. You can, but it's hard. It's very hard.
So it's safe to say that like it's okay to work a job, guys. It is okay to work a job and then work on your business. If you got enough gumption to actually go ahead and do the business, do it the right way. Stay at that job first.
Work at a job with a plan, with an exit plan. If that's what you want to do is run your own company, then work for somebody else who does exactly what you do and they do it better and they're bigger. And learn their system so when you start your own company, you already know the system. You don't have to learn it while you're getting started.
So it's okay.
Let somebody else pay you to learn how to run their business.
Exactly.
And then when it's time for you to open your own business, you can because you know all of the systems. You know all the ins and outs because you did it for somebody else. A lot of times we just want to do something just because we don't want to work for somebody. Humble yourself. You're going to eventually be working for somebody again 10 years later, 5 years later.
When everything crashes.
When you're in your 30s and 40s and it's too late.
It's cool to do it now.
Learn now, get paid later. Have some patience. Some patience.
All right. So, without further ado, I think it's actually pretty okay for us to ask Percy some tips on being a successful business. I know you kind of touched on it, but in your own personal way, what are the tips in being a successful business owner?
I follow 8. I try my best. Well, I hate to say try. Either you do or you don't. I follow 8 steps to success. I learned this in my sales career, and I've always used it for my success. So my tips, y'all ready?
Hey, grab a pen and paper, or you on your phone, pull out the notes. This is your moment
of silence to hurry up.
So 8 steps to success to me is, first of all, you got to have a great attitude. Attitude is everything. And so if I go into something with a great attitude, somebody can have a terrible attitude, don't matter to me. My attitude is I know that I'm going to win. I feel like Dion. That's why I like Dion so much because I'm not going to let your insecurities mess with my confidence. My attitude is if I got to do it, we're going to do it well and I'm going to win.
Yes, sir.
Second of all, be on time. A lot of times people miss opportunities because they're not on time. They got there too late. Those first 3 minutes of meetings are crucial because that's when you're getting that pertinent information, the date and time to be somewhere, and you get everything else, but you didn't get the day you're supposed to be there. Now you got to call them back and you look unprofessional because you missed it. So 2 is be on time. 3 is be prepared. Always be prepared. The reason I'm successful is because every opportunity I had, when it came to me, I was prepared. So I didn't have to go learn it. I learned it already because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew this field. I never used my degree because I want to talk to people and have fun. I like doing partying. And so I had to prepare myself on how do you make money having fun.
Right.
And so when it came to, hey, you can do radio commercials, you can go to all of these concerts with the radio station and meet all of these artists, that's fun. But you got to sell and you got to close something every week so you don't get fired because we worked off a commission. I didn't get a salary. I got a commission. As a matter of fact, I asked them to, the first 6 months, they put you on a salary to get your feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
Within 3 months, I asked them to take me off of salary because I was making more money in commission than I was on salary and I wasn't getting it.
Correct.
So I said, take me out because I'm a beast. I'm a dog. Put a B on my chest. Take me out.
I got you.
Because I was prepared.
Yes, sir.
Step 4 is work a full 8 hours or as long as it takes to get the job done. A lot of people want to work 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, I'm done. I'm going home. Can't they punching the clock looking at hours? I never wanted to trade my time for money. Like I never worked hours for time. For me, it was all about completion of the process, because life, work, everything is a process. So for me, it was a completion. I don't want to work hours. I want to get a job done and get paid when I work for that job.
Correct.
And so I work a full 8 hours or as long as it takes to complete it. Sometimes you call me 10, 11 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm answering.
Yeah.
And what you on your computer? Yeah, I'm on my computer.
Yeah. No.
Even though I own a company, I don't work 9 to 5. I work as long as it takes to get the job done.
That's very true. So, safe to say that, yes, we're on the same page at that point.
I've seen them jump on planes, get in the car just to get the job done.
Like, Percy, where you headed to? I'm on
They need me down there. I'm like, oh. I'm like, you don't need us. He's like, I would send y'all, but they need the front door.
When the client calls, you got to go. It don't matter. Right. And so, number 4, again, work a full 8 hours as long as it takes. Number 5 is to know your territory. Know the ins and the outs of your business, but know the ins and the outs of your community, your marketplace, like who's around you, who else does marketing, who else is doing sales, where are my strengths, where are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities, what are my threats.
Right.
All of those things matter. And so you have to know your territory when you're running a business to be successful, in my opinion. Number 6 is to protect your attitude.
That's something.
Number 1 is have a great attitude. Number 6 is protect it. Don't surround yourself with negative people. No. I surround myself with positive people. If people, exactly. When I call my friends, if I call them, I say, "What you doing?" and they say nothing, I hang up on them. Because I don't want to hang around with people that's doing nothing. I need to hang out with people that's moving. What are you doing? Oh, I'm about to go to the gym. What are you doing? Oh, I'm about to go take my son here. Oh, I got this client I got to meet. That's what I want to hear when I call somebody. Yep. I'm never going to answer the phone and say, "What you doing?" Nothing.
Birds together, flock together.
I can't hang around people that's doing nothing. So I have to protect my attitude. I can't be around people that are negative. Yep. And so even in my business, if a person doesn't like my services for whatever reason, here's your money back. I have to protect my attitude. I'm not going to argue with you about what I know I did well, but you didn't describe it the way you said you're doing now.
Right.
So that. I'll take the loss. Here you go, because I need to protect my attitude. I'm not going to go down in the woods with you. Number 7, know why you're here and where you're going.
That's true.
Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? A lot of times when you work, sometimes you forget why you're doing it, and when you want to quit and, you want to just give up. And then you got to just think about, why are you doing it? Why are you here? I'm here because I got 4 kids. I got 3 daughters and a son. Yep. That I don't want to have to struggle like I did. When my son say, "Dad, I want to play on a volleyball team," or "I want to be an actor," there's a class that's $1,200 or $1,500. I don't want to have to say,
"It's not cheap,
son, I want you to do it, but I just can't afford to do it." I don't want to have that feeling. And so I work my butt off so I don't have that feeling. So whatever they say they need, I can provide. Now, I may not give it to them, but I can provide it if I need it to.
That's the difference.
And that's the difference. It's a big difference. I don't give them everything. I don't give him everything. He got to work for it. But if I needed to get him something in case of emergencies, if I need something, I know I can get it. If my family needs me, I know I can help them. My family calls me. They depend on me. So when I'm working and I'm tired, I'm not just working for me. I'm working for my legacy. I want to have my picture on the wall. And where's that? I want to have my picture on the wall with my company underneath for all my grandkids to say, that's Grandpa Percy's company right there. He's the one that provided all of this.
Yes.
All of this.
All of this.
Legacy
is everything. Legacy is everything. And then step 7 is, why you're here and where you're going. And then step 8 is take control.
Yep.
It's up to you to take control. Stop blaming other people. Woe is me. Both my mother and my father was blind.
Two legs.
I stayed in the house with no running water. Yes. I got arrested because I was with my cousin. They thought we were drug dealers when we were just going to basketball practice. Yes, all of these things happened. I lost $50,000 and I had to move back with my mother in Harvey. Yes, all that happened. So what? Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care.
Your story is your story.
Your story is your story. Everybody has a story. What are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
You have to take the wheel of your life.
Yes,
you have to take the wheel of your career. You got to take the wheel of your opportunity. Exactly. If you don't, there's only one person to blame, and that's you.
I'm not getting hit with life.
Life is going to hit you.
I'm going to hit life.
But you got to hit back. And I'm built in a way that I'm not going to stop until I get it. And even when I get it, then I'm going to keep getting it to help somebody else. So I'm start giving it, so I'm going to have to keep getting it because I give.
We ain't going back to Robbins.
No, we are going back to Robbins.
We're going
back to Robbins to build.
Exactly.
And so that's the thing. We're going back to uplift and bring some. I go to Robbins literally every week. Every Friday or Saturday, I go get my hair cut in a barbershop because that's the place where you find out all the news. Mm-hmm. So I go to Robbins every week. Shout out to my man Chris, the best barber in the city.
Chris, keeping the ball.
Him and my man June. So one of the barbers there is a phenomenal chef. Phenomenal. Oh, his food is so good.
Artistic.
He went to Cordon Bleu, the whole nine, and he brought some barbecue sauce to the barbershop one day, and I was like, man, this is amazing, dude. Like, you should put this in a bottle. Like, why are you not selling this? He was like, you know what? That's a great idea, Percy. 2 months later, I came to the barbershop. He was like, hey, I listened to you. Here go my sauce. Package, bottle, the phone number, everything. I bought 3 bottles from him. Everybody in the barbershop bought bottles from him.
Dang.
Just from somebody encouraging them to, hey, do this. You can do this. If our community don't encourage us to do something, who is? That sauce would have been sitting in his house, in his mind.
And only him enjoying it.
Right, with just him enjoying it or his family enjoying it. But now the whole world can enjoy it because he's packed it up and he's created a business for it. Exactly. That's what, if drug dealers, let me just say this. If drug dealers would only find a legal thing to do, they would still make the same amount of money. Because drug dealers work harder than anybody else.
Exactly.
I know a bunch of them from back in the day. They was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They was up at 12 o'clock at night to get it done.
It's like, that's the same effort you need.
It's a business. You start off with small scale. You get this much, and then you sell that. You have to learn sales skills. Then you get this much. Then you become bigger. Then you have people under you selling. You teach them how to. It's a business.
It's a business.
All you got to do is do something legal the same way, and you can sleep at night. And you're not killing. We're not killing each other.
Exactly.
It's the same hustle. We just been tricked to believe that that's the only thing that we can do well. Is play sports and sell drugs, and they lying to us.
No, they lying to us.
Stop with the music. If you're a rapper, man, stop putting us down. Stop you could tell your truth, but tell the alternative as well, that you rapping and you making $1,000 and you going to see the rap about those things too.
Exactly.
Rap about you in the boardroom and how that works and how you gotta be shrewd with your money and how you gotta have an accountant. Don't just rap about the hood and the streets and the girls with no clothes on and the cars.
You do not
Rap
live that
about all of
lifestyle
those
no
things.
more.
You don't live that
lifestyle.
You
And
want to
if
go
you
back
do,
to
you shouldn't.
You shouldn't want to stay.
Because that's the whole point of making it out, is making it out. You can come back and pull other people with you, but don't go back. Don't make it out and then talk about that stuff like you still doing it, because you're not, and you're doing a disservice to our community, man.
Sending people off.
I'm done off my soapbox.
Hey, I mean that's what we're here for.
That's
what we're here for. We keep it professional, but we also keep it real at the same time.
So I'm gonna recap the 8 steps. Have a great attitude. Number 2, be on time. Number 3, be prepared. Number 4, work a full 8 hours or as long as it takes to get the job done. Number 5, know your territory. Number 6, protect your attitude. Number 7, what's number 7? Know why you're here and where you're going.
That's it.
Number 8, take control. It's up to you to take control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't,
so we gotta work
we'll
on
hit
that.
you.
Know why you're here.
And my main question in every podcast is, why haven't we talked?
That's gonna be his line for the year.
That's my line of the year. Why haven't we talked yet about your business and where you're trying to go?
Yeah. So his link is gonna be in the description too. So if you didn't know that,
somewhere around here.
Yeah. So we'll have it at the end of this segment here. But man, Percy, it's been a pleasure. We finally got some real needed conversations in. Shout out to Global 360 Marketing for actually providing all the space, the opportunity, the equipment, obviously. And
we got lights everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
We got cameras everywhere. Y'all don't get to see everything. Shout out to everybody.
You over there.
It's been a
it's
dream.
been great.
But definitely have one more question for Mr. Scott.
All right.
What is the future and where are you going with the company Global 360?
So the company will scale. As I mentioned, not only do I want to do it here in Chicago, but I also want to have an office in Dallas. And I want to have an office on the East Coast as well. So my goal, again, is to train young men like you up so that I can turn it over here and then go somewhere else. I'm going to Dallas.
He said, I got the penthouse that's going to watch the Dallas.
But it's enough office buildings in Dallas that we can both come.
We just need one. That's a lot of overhead.
Wherever we go, we going with it.
Yeah, we're about to have some fun. So join the ride, join the team. Let us help you, because that's what it's about. We have to expand, and if you stay still, you lose them. And so they always say either you're growing or you're dying, and I want to grow.
What's Deion saying? What did he say? You either working,
you working, and you twerking.
And I ain't twerking.
I don't know how to twerk. It's time to work.
All right, guys. So we are out of here.
Yes,
I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And like I said, all the links will be in the description. So if you need Business in a Box will be there. And also, if you want to join a chamber 57, it has open arms for you guys. Yes. If you have a small business in the Southland or Illinois, period, I don't really care where you come from, join Chamber 57.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Much love. Everybody, peace. At Global 360, making movement one moment at a time.
All right. That was perfect.